So I'm just noticing, I just did the review on the Jinsoku LC40 5-watt diode laser, and I have a lost file. I think the most important video that I shot on this laser, I left out of that review video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into another video, since YouTube doesn't let you edit videos that are already online. I can't imagine why they don't let you do that, upload a different version, but they just don't. And there's nothing I can do about that. So I can't edit the video. So what I had to do is make another video here now. Just take a couple minutes. It's a 7-minute video. It was a summary of everything that I found, and it had some really important things in it that I left out of the other video that I thought was important to pass along. So if you're looking at that LC40, just take the extra minute or so, or actually 7 minutes coming up, to take a look at some of the things that I left out and some of the more important points on the LC40. So let me go ahead and run that video for you right now. All right, so let me just sum up some of the things. Now, I got to tell you that I'm really impressed with this laser, especially for the price point that it's at. Everything about it is just solid. I mean, I really like it. The gantry itself has a solid stop in the back. You see, if I push it back like that, both sides are solidly square on this. And the entire machine was put together perfect. It came up perfectly square. So I didn't have to fool with any of that. Now, you can move the gantry by hand. You should move it maybe from the middle or both sides when you do that, because it is on linear rails underneath. There are no V wheels on this. There are no steel wheels on this. So it's really a nice system. Oh, and one thing that I probably didn't mention was this little hidden guy right here. This is your focusing gauge. It is built into the laser, and it has its own little hiding spot right here in the top right corner. Snaps right in there. So you'll never lose that focusing gauge. It runs nice and smooth, nice and quiet. Everything about it is nice quality. It's got a really nice quality feel to it. So looking at the underside, it is quite heavy, which is one of the first things that you'll notice, is that it's not like your typical laser. It's not light at all. It has a different type board back here. It's not your typical CNC board, flash with Gerbil. In here you can see these are the linear rails. I originally thought this was the adjustment for the belts. The belts come perfectly tensioned, by the way. I mean perfectly tensioned, just exactly the way that I would do it. The actual tensioner is underneath this cap for the feet over here in the corner. So this is where the tensioning mechanism is, underneath these three screws. Now, I would prefer if they left a little extra over here and you could just tension it from here. But I guess that's going to work out okay. It shouldn't be a problem at all. Now, this is going to be kind of hard to see, but I would like to show you this because it's important. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be able to do this. Let me see. Let me spin this around like this. And I want to show you the air assist on this, which is quite unusual. Let me see if I can get my camera over here. Inside the laser module itself, there are two metal plates. There's one way down inside here that forces the air this way. Then there's another one here that forces the air this way. So it has a functional air assist just from the fan, and it keeps, unlike some of the other lasers that are out there, it keeps the buildup from coming onto the laser itself because it all blows out the back side where the opening is. So I thought that was like a really ingenious way to set up that laser module, where you have two metal diverters in here that divert the air into a backward path, so it blows completely outside the workspace. Really nice design on that. You can tell that this one is designed from the ground up as a new model. On the back side here, which is kind of hard to see, but you see it has its own control board there, own unique control board. On the back is the power button. So you have your power button over here. You have a USB port over here. You have your regular printer cable port over here for your USB connection to the computer, and the power. What do I think about the power coming out the back? Can be a little inconvenient, especially if it only comes with like a 1 meter network cable, so it can be a little bit inconvenient as far as that's concerned. But I guess I sort of started to like it once I decided that I was going to run this machine from inside my CO2, so I could use the smoke extraction in there. It worked out pretty well. The cables went straight out the back and right over to the wall outlet, and over to my computer. So that worked out nice. It's all metal, so that's one thing that I like about it. All metal, 2 stepper motors in the back, one for each side on the Y. You have 1 stepper motor up here, up top, okay, and for the gantry, and so that gives you a good pass-through underneath here. The pass-through is a decent size too. It is 2 inches. So 2 inches from the deck up to here is the pass-through. You're probably never going to put anything that's more than 1.5 inches through here in this direction. It does not have a pass-through in both directions though, because the front and the rear rail are so low to the ground. But that's okay, because typically most people are only going to use the pass-through in one direction anyhow. So doesn't make a big difference as far as I'm concerned. The most impressive thing about this is the cable management. I mean, it really is awesome. And I want to say that they took the time to, now I've had this for a long time now, quite a while, a couple months. And the final production model that's coming out of this LC40 is going to have 17 improvements to it based on the feedback from us, from the beta reviewers. And there have been 17 major changes made to this, including, larger bolts to bolt it together, so that you don't have any problem with strip threads like I had on one of them, including softer coils on the wiring, so that it doesn't put any tension whatsoever on the stepper motors, any extra tension. 17 different improvements since this beta model came out, and I've been extremely happy with this beta model. I can tell you that much. All right, so that's it. The lost footage, the 7 minutes. Probably the most important part of the video somehow got lost on another drive. I don't know how it got saved to the other drive, and I didn't even realize it until after I posted the original video. If you haven't seen the original, I'm going to put a link up here where you can go and take a look at the original video now that you've watched the summary video. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.